Tropical Cyclone number 1 of hurricane season 2022. Alrighty. So yeah, we've got some rain in the background. Back on the spoiler project, I've decided to double down this time around. And so what we're going to be doing is actually molding these two pieces together and taking a mold of the whole thing. I decided if I'm going to invest this much time and this much money into producing a part as this project has evolved, I decided that doing that is probably for the best. I think it'll look cool and, you know, adding another layer of challenge so that this project takes longer and longer and longer is apparently what I do. So we're going to take this to the next level. Right now you can see this with some blue tape so that I can determine exactly where the seams are going to be on this product. I'm still doing a hand layup. Definitely don't have the tools to do vacuum bagging or the other more exotic methods for this. That would probably be more appropriate for a complex piece like this. Really like how it looks like a whale shark mouth. It's like, oh. But this, these blue tape lines basically indicate where the seams are going to be for when I eventually weld the two pieces together. This is going to be in 2 parts. The mold is going to be many parts, but the final piece will actually be in 2 carbon fiber panels that get glued together. It's just the way it's going to have to be because of how this is and, you know, how many tight angles I have and whatnot. But for reference, I'm going to have a seam that comes along the back of this. By the way, this took hours to figure out. And come under the lip here. Inside, the underside of this and the top of this is all going to be one part, one piece. And then the outside and the underside of that is all going to be one piece, and then they'll glue together. How one will fit inside the other, I don't know. I just thought about that. So the next step for me here, I'm going to clean this bad boy up. Then I'm going to permanently attach the spoiler. I'm going to use probably just the bolts that are under there and body filler. This is pretty, like, I can lift the whole spoiler from here without causing too much flex in here, so I think I can body fill this and not really worry about it moving. That's just with the 1 bolt that's in here and 1 bolt that's in here. Paint the whole thing with epoxy. I've already sanded this down more or less. This is a black gel coat that's it ruins sandpaper for one thing. That's why so little of it is sanded. But if I cover it with an epoxy 2K, just like that this is covered with, I think we'll be good. And then we'll move on to the molding process. Time to weld these two things together. We can do a little scrap chop strand mat, a little resin right on top of this. Just 1 layer. Just put it on, bolt it up, let it dry. So with the body filler sanded down, I bring out the old Total Boat Total Fair 2-part epoxy putty. Total Boat Total Toast 2-part epoxy tuppy. Jeez. Anyway, with a thin application of this to the whole part, we're ready to sand, filler prime, sand, and follow with the final coat of epoxy 2K paint that I'll polish to be the final plug surface. Show you guys kind of where we're at, what it looks like on the car. It's pretty cool with just the single tone in there. A little shady, sorry, but I think it's gonna look pretty sick. Sanded and polished somewhat to a 2000 grit. Turned out pretty good. There's a couple imperfections in it, but I kind of like this gloss level. It's just a scratched gloss. I could polish it before taking the mold, but I don't think I'm going to. Again, this part is going to be wrapped, and honestly, this is close enough that the carbon fiber part to be produced at the end could be clear coated and then polished, and it would take care of all the minor imperfections. The minor imperfections you see are, let me get a good angle on one. It's so hard to see. You can see right, I don't know, right here, there's a little bit of a texture change. just because of the orange peel from painting in the extreme heat. Really just went down to the deepest level. I really didn't want to cut this down anymore. I didn't want to go any further into the black. You know, around the edges here we had to get down pretty far under the epoxy, which is too bad, but I don't think it'll cause any issues. It's smooth. I think it'll be perfectly fine. If I had a paint booth in a climate controlled space and actually was good at painting, I might try to finish this piece as like a solid color and get it to a really high gloss, but I don't think it's necessary for what I want to do. So yeah, so now we're going to start building the flanges and we're going to build a mold. I'm going to have a lot more flanges than this because the actual mold itself is going to be made of more than 2 pieces. Something a little crazy here. We're going to try cold solvent blasting.